All right, hello everyone. We're going live. Hopefully, see if some people start trickling in here soon. I know it's just now 1 o'clock on the dot. But anyway, thank you for those of you who are joining. If you weren't able to join the live stream, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, thank you for that as well. I appreciate it. Also, you'll notice something different. I'm actually on camera today. I finally got that feature working. Learning little by little as we go. So it's not going to add, too much overall focus is probably still going to be here on the main screen, but I thought this might be nice. So I'm going to go ahead and get started drawing the new comic for this week. If actually, I should say, if you're new, just joining us for whatever reason, just kind of happened to stumble across. My name's Perry, and I write and illustrate a webcomic series called Floof and Feathers, which is centers around and takes inspiration from our real life pets, our dogs, Finnegan there on the right, Pippin there on the left, and our cockatoo, Olivia. Right now, I'm in the middle of the Willy Wonka parody series with them going through a kind of a dog treat factory that Finn has set up. And this is the newest one in that series. So if you've not read that yet, recommend going back and catching up. It's only like 6 comics long, I think, at this point, something like that. It's not too awfully far in yet, so fairly easy to catch up. Usually the series is pretty episodic. There's not a whole lot of long running series within the series. This is actually my first time doing that. So this is the first time that I've ever had to tell people to go catch up if they haven't read the most recent episode yet, which is kind of unusual. But hopefully, as the series continues to progress, I'll be able to do more things like that with it. Also, I do want to mention something I've been doing. I'll probably post this. Hopefully, I'm going to aim tomorrow. I should have it put up sometime. I'm going to be putting up a poll on my Patreon page just to see, hopefully trying to get some better insight into what time during the day on Thursday works best for people to come catch a Twitch live stream. I've been playing around with a few different time blocks. Just want to get an idea of what works best for people so I can make sure to engage with everyone, get as many people watching as would want to. If you want to make sure that you can catch the live stream, make sure everyone's available to do that. So I will be putting up a poll about that just to get everybody's feedback. And also, if you go to my profile here on Twitch, I do have links to my Patreon page. If you want to sign up, you can go ahead and start participating in those polls. Leave your feedback. That would be greatly appreciated. And not only that, it's not just participating in surveys on there. There's lots of other stuff on Patreon you can get as well. You'll actually, if you're not able to catch a live stream, I do have the full preview sketches that I draw that you can see I'm working with here. Those are available ahead of time before the final comic. There are also other rewards, such as there are exclusive Floof and Feathers wallpapers you can get. They're only available for the month. So those are a Patreon exclusive and a limited time offer. They change every month. It's always something fun and cute I try to draw. Something else I'm going to be doing in the future as well is an exclusive sticker pack of the month, designing some new stickers each month that I'll be able to send out to supporters. So that'll be something fun to look forward to. And of course, you can leave your feedback, participate in some reader-based surveys, get your previews. And then there's also the availability you can get every month, pick out a comic from the last month and you can get a physical print of the comic of your choice. So lots of fun stuff you can get if you sign up. Again, more so than just participating in surveys. So lots of stuff to get if you do sign up, if you choose to, if you're able. So like I said, I have the link in my profile here. If anyone is interested in giving that a closer look, I would say I highly recommend it. But then of course I am kind of biased since I'm running the whole thing anyway. So if you are able to check it out, I appreciate it. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, hello, glad you found this. So if you're ever again not able to make one of the live streams, I do have these sessions recorded, and that will be put up on my YouTube channel on Saturday morning as well. And of course, along with everything else, if you want to find my YouTube channel, I have a link for that in my profile as well. Trying to keep everything easy to find as much as possible. Can't get the brim of his hat right. There we go. So yeah, in this little mini series, Finnegan, our oldest dog, he's taking on the role of the Willy Wonka type character, and this, of course, is the scene where in the book and the movie, this was the everlasting gobstoppers. But these guys being dogs, we're doing something with an everlasting dog treat instead. I don't know that Finn or Pippin would actually really like gobstopper type candy. I don't think that's their thing. They'd probably just end up being confused by it, I feel. Or who knows, maybe they would love it. Probably not. So we're going to go with just regular, well, not regular, but we're going to go with everlasting dog treats instead of candy. Now, our bird Olivia, on the other hand, she would probably love some kind of gobstopper candy. It would keep her busy, give her something to crunch and tear apart. She seems to really like crunchy stuff, so. But I don't think she would need all the sugar. She's already hyper enough without it. And these guys, these dogs, they definitely don't need it. They are already wound up most of the time. Hopefully they should be relatively quiet. They just came inside from hunting squirrels in the backyard. I imagine they will probably be quiet for the most part. Unless they see another squirrel in the backyard. Most of the comics that I do in the series, for the most part, are somewhat based in reality, or I should say, they take a heavy inspiration from real life events with our animals. This one, obviously not so much. This is just the standard Willy Wonka parody that I feel like a lot of comedy series end up doing eventually. So unlike a lot of other stuff that I draw, this one didn't really have a basis or an inspiration in reality so much. It just seems like, oh, this would be a funny idea. So decided to just take the idea and run with it. And I'm just having fun drawing it, and that's really all that matters. I have my headset on right now, so you guys can't hear, but Pippin is downstairs kicking his water bowl all around the kitchen. That dog drinks about 15 bowls of water a day. I don't know how he's able to actually hold so much water in his body. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, and there's Finn behind me. I don't know if you can. Yeah, there he is. You can see him. There's the real life Finnegan right there behind me, looking downstairs. I think he's gonna go check on his brother. Hopefully he'll get a drink before Pippin steals it all, as he likes to do. Yeah, like I mentioned, I will be putting up a survey probably tomorrow just to try to get feedback from people to see what the best time to hold these streams on Thursdays is going to be. Just because like I said, I want to make sure that I get as many people involved as possible. People want to come see some of these comics coming to life. It'd be really fun just to be able to have as many people here as possible. And I know with people's work schedules and different time zones and stuff, it's not always the easiest to coordinate something. But we're gonna find out what we can do about that. So we have Pippin being introduced here to the everlasting dog bone, everlasting treat. Finn's trying to explain all of its benefits, everything great about it here. And now here in this next panel, you can see Pip just has a whole bunch of them just shoved into his mouth. Now that part of the comic is very much inspired by real life. Pippin, I love him. He's a great little dog. Uh, does not always have the best manners, admittedly. Um, he just kind of sees something that he likes and he will just go for it. So, one of those things we're working on. But yeah, so this part at least is very much in thing with his his real life personality, because that is exactly the sort of thing that he would do. That up a little bit there. Okay, he's got that bone. Okay. It's been a nice change of pace this week as well. I recently just as an experiment with drawing, I've moved away from trying to post several new comics throughout the week. I'm trying to focus, at least for the time being, just to see how it goes. Just doing one comic a week, trying to release that on Friday mornings, giving myself more time during the week to get the full idea together, to get an initial sketch, do the outline, get things ready, just to try to get it much more clean, try to spend more time working on it and making them look the best that they possibly can. Because otherwise, I was previously putting out usually around 3 new comics a week, and that is quite a lot of work. It's a very involved process. Yeah, I'm gonna redo her hair actually, her little wig. But yeah, it's a very involved process, and especially when you're trying to put them out multiple times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That means basically that you have to either draw all 3 of them fully ahead of time before the week starts, or else you have to do the entire comic process all at once the day before a new comic comes out. So that includes all of the background writing for it, sketching, outlining, coloring, shading, and just trying to cram all of that in one day, 3 days a week. It gets to be a bit much. So shifting focus this way a little bit and just trying to do one release a week has already uh, seemed to go a lot better, and I'm hoping to stay on that kind of schedule for the time being. Just makes things a lot easier for me. And it's also nice because the idea behind that is that it will help give me some more personal time to work on, you know, developing my art a little bit more. Just because everything that I do is completely self-taught. Um, when I first started this comic series almost 2 years ago, I didn't really have any idea what I was doing. I just kind of on a whim bought a drawing tablet and decided, oh, this is something I'm going to work on. And I just on the fly had to teach myself all about using all the various tools that come with it and warning, oh, here's how to shade color and give things some actual dimension, and here's how to do this and that. Here's how to make it actually look nice. If anyone, if you're watching this and you have not uh, seen my earliest comics in the series when I first started doing this, I would highly recommend that you not go back and read those. In all honesty, they they don't they don't look nice. If I'm being honest with myself, they're not pretty. But that's one of the other little projects I'm kind of doing as well. Is whenever I get a chance, I like to look back on some of those early comics, and I'm going to be doing some remastered versions of them now that I feel like I have a little bit of better of an idea of just what the heck I'm actually doing. And I've released a few of those previously, and I'm very happy with how they turned out. So hopefully that will be an ongoing process with this series. And go back to some of my earlier work and really clean it up and make it something really nice. But yeah, like I said, that's kind of the whole comic a week as opposed to 3. That gives me more time to work on each individual new comic strip and spend more time getting things just right, laying everything out correct, and just making something that I can really be happy with and something I'm proud of that I'm really excited to share. And also that'll give me a little bit more free time to get some practice in with various different techniques and hopefully some new styles. So just all exciting stuff to look for. Let's see that. Yeah, that looks good there. We'll go ahead and do this go ahead and do the inking on this last panel, and you can see Finn is not at all happy with his little brother's lack of manners, just grabbing all of the treats, and he is just giving him a nice little karate chop on the head. Which that also is actually pretty in line with Finnegan's real life personality. He and Pippin get along very well. They're very well behaved siblings, I will say. When Pippin first came here, Finnegan sometimes was not sure what to make of him, just because Finn is now 8 years old and Pippin is going to just be turning 2 in July. So Pippin has a lot of energy and a lot of natural curiosity to him. And Finn, he just kind of, he has a good lay of the land. He knows how things are. He's pretty mellow. So they clashed a little bit, with Pip just wanting to explore everything and getting up in Finn's face sometimes, and he didn't always appreciate that. But he's good about letting his little brother know when he's being annoying and needs to back off. I don't think he would actually hit him like this, but he has no problem telling Pippin to back down when he's getting in his face. But he really doesn't even seem to do that as much anymore. So that's good. Although if Pip ever did steal his food, I'm sure Finn actually probably would hit him, maybe. Mentioned before, Finn gets very, very protective of his food. I think that is the one thing he actually will fight for. So yeah, this is pretty in line with his actual personality in that regard. We're almost done with the inking process here. Not too much left. There we go. Didn't want to erase that. Oh, and going back to an earlier point that I mentioned, speaking of the different reader surveys that you can take part in if you sign up on Patreon, I actually have one also live on my page right now. Getting ready to plan out the next comic in this series. They're going to be going to the next room of the Floofy Wonka factory. And I am curious to get some people's feedback on that. Mostly because I'm trying to decide how I want to handle it. If you're familiar with the original version of the movie with Gene Wilder, the next room they went to had... Was it the next? I'm trying to remember the movie now, actually. Yeah, the next room they went to had the geese that laid the giant chocolate gold eggs. However, in the most recent version of the movie, and actually also the original book as well, This room was where they had a huge team of squirrels that would sort good nuts from bad nuts. And I'm trying to decide which direction I want the next part of the series to go, because I have ideas I could use for either one. I have not fully settled on one over the other yet. So I do have a survey up about that just because I'm curious to get some people's feedback and see what they think about that. So that's something else that you can help out with if you sign up and want to participate in those surveys. You can get your feedback heard and actually help be a part of the creative process for the next comic when it comes out. So definitely something I would again I would recommend if you want to kind of make your voice heard and be part of the process. That's a great way to do it. Olivia is downstairs screaming about something right now. Who knows? Most of the time, it sounds really angry, like she's furious about something. The reality is, more often than not, it's because if she's in her room by herself, and yes, she actually does have her own bedroom all to herself. It's kind of crazy. Uh, but if she's in her room by herself and is just bored or wants attention, sometimes she'll just start screaming because she wants someone to come check on her. So it's not that anything is actually wrong. She honestly might just be bored. So who knows? It doesn't work though, because when she acts up like that, when she's having a screaming fit for attention, we usually don't give her attention just to make sure that we're not encouraging that. So now she's gotten in the habit of if she wants attention, she'll start screaming for it. And then if that doesn't work, um, she recently learned how to say peekaboo, trying to get someone to come check in on her. Or else, sometimes I will hear her from her room actually calling for me by name. This really, this cute, sad little tone of voice, and it's just absolutely pathetic, and it works every time. So she knows what she's doing. I would say she's too smart for her own good. Speaking of Leah, I think drawing her here is just about the last part of this that we need to do. Apart from a couple of quick little ones. And yeah, let's turn that up a little bit. No, maybe not quite that much. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. And we'll just... That didn't quite work out. There we go. That's better. Make those in the background real quick. And with that, once I erase this, I think we're pretty much done with the inking process. And from here, we can go ahead and start getting things colored in. I'm gonna erase that weird little random dot there. Don't need that. There, it would help if I actually had the eraser and not the pen. Right. So that looks good there, I think. Let's just turn that sketch layer off in the background, look everything over, make sure we're all set. Yeah, that looks good. All right. So now we can go ahead, start putting some color in here. So, I mean, while I'm coloring here, let me see, there we go. So while I'm coloring, I don't want to just sit here and talk everyone's ear off unnecessarily. But I should have. Let me see. I think the chat feature is working. Yes, that is. I think that is working there. But yes, if anyone just has questions or wants to leave a comment, I have the chat open. Feel free to drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts, and I will gladly respond to those while I sit here and get this colored in. Or if you just want to hang out and watch everything come to life, feel free to do that too. They're downstairs right now. Someone's making food, so of course they're interested in that. I don't blame them. But when Pippin comes back upstairs, hopefully he'll be able to stop by and say hi to everybody. That'd be nice. If he doesn't just run right for the bed to get a nap, because he very well might do that instead. But we'll see if we can't catch him when he comes upstairs. He's downstairs begging to go outside again. When the weather's like this, he just wants to spend all day outside chasing squirrels, which I don't blame him. I hear one of them coming. Oh, it's Finnegan. Or Finnegan again. There he is, coming back up. I hear someone else on the stairs. There he is. There's Pippin. Oh, there he goes. Okay, bye, Pip. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. They're smart. They just know to follow the food. Well, I think they're going to start wrestling now. Oh yeah, they're over in the next room playing. I don't know if the microphone picked that up or not, but yeah, Pippin is very excited. He's just so happy that his brother's playing with him. Yeah, oh, yeah. Fix that real quick. Forgot to leave a little spot for the color on Finn's shoulder. There we go. That's kind of important to do. Takes care of most of Finn. His bow tie and his hat. That's one other thing that also was drawn from a lot of real life inspiration. Finnegan does wear a lot of bow ties in real life. He has those little ones that we just put on his dog collar, and he loves them. We have a whole collection of those for him. So that is not something that I did just for the comic series here. That is very much a something that Finn does in real life. Loves his little bow ties. He's actually wearing one right now today too. He usually has one on. He just likes to feel fancy. Who can blame him for that, right? I think we can go ahead and get Finnegan's top hat going. Let's see. Yeah, it's the shade we want. However, he does not actually wear hats. or at least he does not wear hats willingly or happily. We've put some on, for his birthday or for other people's birthday. They have the little paper party hats with the elastic strap. Put one of those on just for the sake of getting a funny picture. And that's about all he really tolerates when it comes to hats. So we try not to force the issue too much because he's not the biggest fan. Pippin, actually, I don't know if we've ever tried to put him in a hat. I'm not really sure what he would do. He would probably knock the hat off of his head and try to eat it, knowing him. Olivia is also not the not the biggest fan of hats, but I am determined to get her in a little Santa Claus hat for the holidays one of these years. We actually have some like little small cockatoo-sized ones. She has not yet willingly worn it, but at least she's not scared of it anymore. When we first got them, we opened the bag. She just screamed and flew to the other side of the house. Expected with her, anything new or different is scary. Um, but now at least she will let me put the little hat near her head, and she will just sit there and look at it cautiously, but doesn't really freak out. So that's progress, little by little. So who knows? One of these days, maybe we will get her in a hat. I remain hopeful. Finn, I don't think it's ever going to happen, sadly. As adorable as it would be, I think he's going to draw the line at wearing bow ties, but that's totally fine. That's at least something. Oh, see, missing a little part of Olivia's head there. There we go. That's better. Thankfully, an easy enough thing to fix while I'm still able to. That was another one of those big things I had to learn the importance of the hard way when I first started the series a couple years ago. Was when I originally first started drawing these, I wouldn't sketch anything out or do any kind of preview outline beforehand or anything. I would just take the drawing tablet and pull up the black pen tool, and I would just draw it as is. So yeah, was not always easy to go back and make revisions or plan things out ahead of time. Was not the best idea, and thankfully I I learned from experience on that maybe that wasn't the best way to do it. But It's a learning process. There we go. There's Livy's beak. Nice little mix of colors in there, actually. Let's get her green Oompa Loompa hair. And Pippin is back downstairs begging to chase the squirrels again. But what else is new? Let's see. That should not be there. There we go. That's why we work with layers. Let's see, Livy looks good there. Oh. Speaking of, I am missing part of Finn's hat. There we go, that's better. Yeah, lock that. Oh, let's see. What else do they need? They need their bones colored. Also keeping an ear open to see if Pippin starts sneezing downstairs. I think he might have allergies. Whenever he goes outside this time of year and he starts rolling around in the grass and really sticking his nose in things, sniffing, he'll get a pretty major case of the sneezes when he comes inside. And it's I mean I'm not gonna lie, it's actually really cute just the way that he sneezes. But also, it's you feel bad for him. Those squirrels would just leave him alone, he'd be fine. But I don't think that's ever gonna happen. They have way too much fun picking on the dogs. There's that. So yeah, this is looking good so far. Let's see if we can't get some shading on all the white parts of their fur. we have left? I think just doing the background and then filling in their speckles. That's the fun part. So let's see. Oh, Lydia's mad again. Or she just wants attention. It's hard to tell. With her, more often than not, it's pretty much all the same thing. Okay, so that's that. Let's get floor. Okay. And you can see there are a few places where the gray from shading their fur went outside the line just a little bit. Just gonna clean that up. Good. A little bit on his hand there. And then, yeah, I thought I saw something there. There's his tail. Okay, well, that looks better. Right. So I think now we can go ahead. We'll just drop in their speckles real quick. That's the fun part. Gotta get his arms. Can't forget that. Finnegan. Say it's one of the really fun part of the drawing process with them. Just you don't have to worry about being too precise. Just plop down all these dots. At the same time, there's so many that they need. It is arguably one of the relatively most time-consuming parts of the drawing process. Is putting all of their speckles on. Okay, and almost finished. One more. I mean, one more panel, not one more speckle, obviously. I don't know if you heard that, but Finn got very upset just now because he is a grumpy old man who wants to take a nap, and Pippin just wants to play so badly. He wants to come snuggle, and Finn just wants to be left alone. I noticed a little bit more gray that needs trimmed up there. Okay, that's better. I think, yeah, that takes care of the speckles. So now we just got to do the eyes. Left to do is to add the actual text, and I think we'll be all set. So I'm going to go ahead and just merge all of those together, give myself a little extra room to work. Oh, you can probably hear Finnegan barking. He's very excited. He's going to go outside and chase some squirrels now too. right, that looks nice. Well, there we have it. That is the newest in the Floof and Feathers webcomic series. This will be posted Friday morning. That's going to be on my home website, which is floofandfeatherscomic.com, if you want to check it out there. That'll also be posted to my page on Webtoons. It'll be on the Floof and Feathers subreddit. I do have a Reddit set up for it, so I'll post it there as well. You can catch that there. So if depending on where you want to see it, if you want to find the finished comic and like and share, it's on plenty of platforms. You can also find me on Instagram. That'll be posted there on Friday morning as well, at Floof and Feathers Comic. I should have links to all of that in my profile here as well for my home site, social media, all of that if you want to check that out. Like I said, I do have some upcoming reader surveys on Patreon if you want to sign up for those. Sign up for the rewards and help pick the next direction of the story, as well as get all the other great rewards like full comic preview sketches, exclusive stickers and wallpaper packs every month, participate in those surveys, lots of fun rewards that you get if you sign up. So definitely worth checking out. Other than that, thank you all for being here, for coming and watching this live stream, seeing the newest comic come to life. Really appreciate it. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, thanks for stopping by and watching. If you ever want to catch a live stream, I'm going to be doing these for the foreseeable future on Thursdays. Not sure what time permanently yet. I guess I'm trying out a couple of different time frames. Want to get some feedback from people to see what time works out best, just so I know when to best reach people. I had mentioned I was going to set up a reader survey for that on Patreon. I might actually just put that out there on Instagram, just for the time being. Just let anyone give feedback. So keep an eye out for that. I'll be asking about that on my Instagram page to try to get some feedback from people about when the best time to host these in the future is, just so that we can make sure we get everyone here and watching as much as possible. But yeah, so I have links in my profile, or if you're watching this on YouTube again, it'll be in the description below the video. Links for Patreon, for social media, for everything else that I do. If you want to follow along and help support more, really appreciate it. Other than that, just thanks for sticking around and being here, and see everyone next week.